Former President Donald Trump's trial just began in a New York case alleging that he made hush money payments to a porn star named Stormy Daniels. There's a robust debate going down over whether this case is really legitimate on its legal merits, but there's also some truly silly stuff being said. Here's the interesting case that Fox News host Jesse Watters just made about how Trump is being mistreated.
But the guy needs exercise. He's usually golfing. And so you're going to put a man who's almost 80 sitting in a room like this on his butt for all that time? It's not healthy. You know how big of a health nut I am. He needs sunlight, and he needs activity. He needs to be walking around. He needs action. It's really cruel and unusual punishment to make a man do that. And anytime he moves, they threaten to throw him in prison.
There's a lot to unpack here, and we're going to break it all down. But first, I'm Brad Palumbo, and welcome back to Media, your home for commentary and coverage on the intersection of media and politics. So anyway, it's kind of strange to hear Jesse Watters present Trump being forced to attend his own trial as some sort of unique aberration, let alone cruel and unusual punishment. It's actually pretty standard practice that criminal defendants, with some exceptions, are required to attend their trial. And the notion that Trump is being denied exercise is honestly laughable, because Trump very famously has said that he doesn't believe in exercise. He is repeatedly quoted as holding this bizarre belief that your life has a finite amount of energy and that exercise drains your battery. Also, Jesse, are we seriously counting golf as exercise now? But this was only the beginning, because in another clip, Watters actually argues that Trump is being treated worse than prisoners at Guantanamo Bay.
I call it pure evil. So they've taken away his freedom of speech, and now they've taken away his freedom of movement. So he has to sit there all week for 6 weeks, and if he says anything, they'll throw him in jail. If he leaves, they throw him in jail. That's crazy. I mean, they had more allowances for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. I think they bought $1 million soccer field for the people in Gitmo. I don't know if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was able to visit his son for his high school graduation, but it's similar. They're freezing him to death. They're putting him in a meat locker. He says it's like 45 degrees in there. And they're putting his life in danger. And they're telling the entire world, all the wackos, this is where the former president's going to be at this date, at this time, surrounded by high-rise buildings. And then they're seizing his bank accounts with these unconstitutional fines, unreasonable bond asks. It's disgusting.
This is very silly. The al-Qaeda leader and Guantanamo Bay prisoner Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was reportedly waterboarded more than 180 times. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Trump's probably not being treated worse than him. It's all just absurd hyperbole. And it actually discredits the legitimate complaints that some Trump defenders might have about the way he is being treated by our criminal justice system. It does those arguments a disservice when they're conflated with this silly nonsense. After all, many legal experts from across the political and ideological spectrum have raised serious questions about the theory that Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg is using to go after Trump. So there are tons of substantive arguments that Trump supporters could be making here. But when they engage in absurd hyperbole like Jesse Watters just did, they only do their own cause a disservice. But what do you guys think? Do you buy that Trump's being treated worse than a Guantanamo Bay prisoner? Let me know in the comments, and thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing and sticking around. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.